Hi everyone, Yana is here, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the process of making an inspirational mini album. For this project I'm using mostly supplies from Spellbinders, the regular Spellbinders dies, as well as several products from the Media Mixage line for this bezel piece you see on the top. So I already have several pieces pre-cut. And as you can see here, I tried to make them look like chipboard. They're quite thick. And to do that, I simply cut several of the same designs out of plain white cardstock and glued them together. On top of them, I adhered a piece which was cut out of pattern paper. And the pattern paper that I'm using is Floral Pavilion from first edition. I especially like this paper because it has like a fabric finish to it. So I decided to make this mini album slightly different than the previous mini albums that I made, and decided to skip the photos. I only wanted to use words in this mini album. And this little bezel piece here acted as a starting point for my inspiration. So I decided to make a mini album about things that are important in life, things that we shouldn't forget about. And I plan to name the album Life is About. And then I plan to decorate the pages with different words like life is about hope and etc. I also wanted to talk a bit about these little chipboard pages that I made. I forgot to mention that I used double-sided tape on my cardstock, and I cut those cardstock pieces together with the double-sided tape. So I was sort of cutting like stickers, and then I just adhere them together and covered them with pattern paper. Some pieces I covered with pattern paper on the front as well as on the back. To make it look a bit more realistic, I decided to use this pearl paint from Martha Stewart Crafts, and I wanted to paint the edges of my chipboard pieces. So here you can see me doing that, painting the edges of my pieces with this pearl paint from Martha Stewart Crafts. I also wanted to talk a bit more about this bezel piece. In the center of this piece, I used this green and blue stamped pattern. And because it was stamped with watercolor markers, it kind of blended and resulted in the background like the one you see here. This was actually a mistake, but I liked it quite a lot, so I decided to use it on a mini album. Right now I'm going to adhere this bezel piece to my little butterfly using adhesive from Beacon Adhesives. And here you can see me attaching the first words to my sort of like a cover page of my album. I also have this little hardware metallic metal piece that I got from a local hardware store, and I don't really like the color of it. I think it's too dark, so I'm going to cover it with this pearl paint, the same paint I used to paint the edges of my pieces, to make it look a bit more appropriate for my album. And I'm not being very careful about it. I'm just painting the way I like. I used my heat tool to speed up the drying process, and now I'm going to use the Beacon adhesive glue to adhere the pieces together. So here I have the pieces all glued together, and on the back of this piece I'm going to attach this little pin from my mind's eye, and I will attach it using some washi tape from Prima. So this is the look of my second page. As you can see here, I have several words having hope and a little chipboard heart, which I'm adhering to the page using Mod Podge. And I'm also going to cover it with this metallic paint to make it look a bit more color appropriate for my album. I'm also using my Mod Podge to adhere these little words to the page to make sure they don't fall off in the future. All done. On to my next page, I'm adhering the little banner to this large green butterfly, again using Mod Podge. I think it works perfect for paper projects like this. And now I'm going to embellish this page using a little key from Making Memories, which I also painted with this pearl paint, also some words, little memories, and a few pearls from Recollections. For my next page, I'm using this little die-cut bird. I cut it out using Spellbinders dies and also painted it with Martha Stewart Crafts paint. And I'm also using this little button from American Crafts, and just laying down my words for my next page. I'm using some Dovecraft clear glue dots to adhere the button and the little birdie. And now I'm adding a little heart, puffy heart, to my layout, to my page. The heart is from American Crafts. It's from the Yes Please collection by Emmy Tangerine. So that's the look at my next page. This one's double-sided. And for my final page, I'm going to use this die cut, this little house die cut. It was cut using medium mixage dies from Spellbinders, and I'm attaching it using foam adhesive to this little tag. Now I'm adding my words, loving home, and in a minute here I'll be adding a butterfly, also cut using dies from Spellbinders. All of these pieces were cut several times, adhered together, and then painted with Martha Stewart pearl paint. Now finally I have this large flower from Basil Basics. I've had it for quite a long time and I didn't know how to use it, so I figured I'd finally use it on a project like this. So I'm adhering it to this large butterfly, and then I'm using dimensional foam squares from Dovecraft to adhere this tag with the words to my final page. Okay, all done. So all of my pages are ready to be assembled, ready to be binded together. And to do that, I'm going to use this wire from Zutter. It's 1 1/4 inch wire. And I'm using my hole punch to punch holes, as I didn't want to put those album pages into my binder doll, as I was sure they won't fit in there, and I was worried they will get damaged in the binder doll. So here I have my pages all attached to the wire, and I'm inserting them into my binder doll, and I am punching and binding the wire together. So this is the look at my album, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.